This is Beyond a Reasonable Doubt with your hosts, Mark Garrigus and Gary Smith.
Welcome to what episode? 22?
22.
Number 22 of BRD, Beyond a Reasonable Doubt. Thank you to Oklahoma Smokes, who is the original OG sponsor for this. And by the way, there's quite a few things going on today as I'm sitting here in the Hamptons. The first is Harvey Weinstein being extradited to LA. And you know why I think this is interesting?
Why is that?
How many years did he get in New York? 23?
So way more than he's going to live. Yeah, something like that.
I was going to say. And if you're Harvey Weinstein, I think it's a pretty safe bet you're not going to live 23 more years under any actuarial table. So the LADA bringing or extraditing Harvey to LA on a case where he's already got 23 years out of New York, where already the LA Superior Court is pretty much not doing yet in-person live routine criminal jury trials in the next 120 days. Can you give me any kind of a reason why this would be happening?
Political gain for the district attorney, the prosecutor, and all of the people involved in the Los Angeles legal system. That's the only thing that I can see that anyone benefits out of this.
There you go. Bing, jing, ding, ding, ding. You just won the prize because there is no other reason to bring him out. Apparently, he's offered through his attorney, Mark Worksman, who I know and have a great deal of respect for, who I've tried jury trials with. There's no reason in the world to bring this guy out. He could video in from New York. He could waive time, which means delay his speedy trial rights, which, by the way, 9 times the Supreme Court has instituted emergency orders under COVID to delay speedy trial. We have no writ of habeas corpus as of right now in California, yet we're dragging Harvey to LA to try him in a case that basically is not going to go to trial this year. So welcome to the criminal justice system. Anybody who says that it reminds me of Adam always says, can you imagine if there was a budget? Because if there was a budget, would this ever happen?
Absolutely not. No, I mean, it's absolutely insane that the citizens are not, standing up and losing their mind over the fact that these elected officials or appointed, officials are using the taxpayers' dollars for this. They're basically, it's a taxpayer-funded campaign ad for them.
Yeah, that's all it is. And by the way, it makes more sense to prosecute Harvey, who is, probably right now. Can you think of anybody who's more hated than Harvey?
No. Bill Cosby, maybe. I don't know.
No, I think Bill Cosby's got a better constituency.
Yeah, I was reaching. I was trying to find something, but no, it's Harvey. Harvey's absolutely the worst.
Yeah, and so it's obvious. So bring him out. Who's going to complain? The person who should complain is somebody who says, why is it that we are prosecuting or doing this when it makes absolutely no sense? By the way, all you'd have to do is just wait 6 months, a year, and see what happens in New York.
Yeah, which will either be, a furtherance in his situation, or he'll die. He's most likely the latter.
I mean, he's going to either, the conviction is either going to be confirmed, if it is, or affirmed. If it's affirmed, he's not going anywhere. He's going to spend 23 years there. He can do the appellate maneuvering. But, given the fact that the odds are very low in a situation like this, it makes no sense. So what is the point of dragging him? And by the way, I'm sure there's going to be a couple of cops from LAPD who fly and get lodged and take a trip to bring him back so he can sit in a jail in California while the prosecutor says we're not ready to go, or the LA Superior Court says we're not ready to go. It's just so absurd. It makes me crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's an absolute, it's a ridiculous use of taxpayer funds. And, I'm turning into an angry old man, but as someone who recently purchased property and has started paying property taxes, this is a waste of money and it's bullshit. Like, no thank you.
It's complete bullshit. Now, moving to another case that I kind of enjoy, what do you think about the South Carolina case? Give a little response.
Yeah, the South Carolina case is a crazy one. It's, I'll summarize here, but basically there is a super powerful legal family in an area of South Carolina, and they have held political office there. I'm trying to pull up the exact details, but basically 3 different members of the family have held the same political office in this county for 87 years or something. They describe it as the longest running American political dynasty, holding the same office ever in history. And, they when you are that kind of powerful and have that much influence, you get a lot of people who have a lot of different opinions about you. And there were many in the community who weren't fond of this family. And what happened recently is that the son of the family, the youngest at the moment, is a teenager in his late teens, and he was apparently out on a boat drunk with 6 or 7 other people around his age. And at night, they ran into a pylon under a bridge and ejected all 6 or 7 people out of the boat. And unfortunately, one of the female occupants died and wasn't found until a couple of days later. So the cops show up, and there's conflicting reports as to whether or not they did a blood alcohol test on this kid who's well connected. But he is ultimately arrested and for the death, and he's released on his own recognizance on a $50,000 bond. And while he is out, he and his mother are savagely murdered on their property and left out by, like the horse stables. And what's I say savagely because one was found to have been shot multiple times with a shotgun, and the other was found shot multiple times by an AR-15. That's not a murder-suicide. That's not an accident.
Yeah, it's just wild. And given, as you said, the generational prosecutorial stuff, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. I'm going to tease it because I want to go deep on this episode.
Yeah, absolutely. So do I. This is one that I've been following, and it's, I don't know. It's sure to evolve, but it seems like it's going to be evolving slowly as the death in the boat death was back in 2019. The region, by the way, that we were referring to in South Carolina is known as the Low Country. But yeah, we'll be watching onto that one very closely. For those who may want to go read more about it, it's the Murdaugh family. So if you search Murdaugh, South Carolina, you're sure to find the news stories. And
we guarantee we'll be up to speed next episode.
Absolutely. We also
perfect.
I also want to tease that we're going to have an update coming soon. Probably not Saturday, but probably in the next Beyond episode, we're going to give an update on the Tom Girardi situation. His TV show, not produced by him, but the Hulu ABC documentary that was released about him and his wife Erica Jane has dropped. Mark and I are going to watch it, and we'll be giving our thoughts on what is revealed there in an upcoming episode of Beyond a Reasonable Doubt.
Oh, yes. And we've got a lot to say.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Absolutely. All right. Once again, I want to thank our sponsor, Oklahoma Smokes. You can find more about them at itsoklahomas.com. So itsoklahomas.com.
Thanks, Gary. As always, it's a pleasure.
Thanks.
Happy Thursday.
Thanks, Mark. We'll see you on Saturday. Have a good one.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Beyond a Reasonable Doubt. Stay tuned for more bonus episodes coming soon.